So it's going to be free, it's going to be fair, and it's going to be fast. We're dedicated to serve the people of Georgia.
A record-shattering start to early voting in a key swing state as a judge knocks down new election rules seemingly designed to benefit former President Donald Trump. More than 328,000 Georgia voters casting their ballots, nearly 2.5 times more than the old record set in 2020's presidential election.
Jay, we are now starting to get one of the strongest bands of rain and wind that we've seen. You can see it really coming down here. We're also seeing this storm surge. Look behind me. You can see an SUV out there that is Bayshore Boulevard. When we pulled up, we saw that car. Then we noticed there was someone trapped inside. I had to call 911, get them out here so they could go in there and rescue them. But I want you to walk over here with me. They're okay. You can see the storm surge coming into the town. We've got white caps there in the bay in the background there underneath the bridge. This is all really picking up.
The verdict's historic nature reflected in banner headlines in newspapers and other media outlets all across the country and the world this morning. A sample there on your screen. It's the first time, again, a former American president has been convicted of a crime.
And we have team coverage for every angle you need on this historic verdict this morning.
213 dispatch. The whole bridge just fell down. Start, whoever, everybody. The whole bridge just collapsed.
My Lord, that moment says it all, right? I'll go alert the workers, and then seconds later, the bridge collapsed. And sadly, we know, that lives were lost in that. It also raises the question, too, about maybe how to better communicate with the workers on a bridge in case there is some kind of pending disaster. Wow, that audio tells the story there.
We are monitoring the protests that continue to unfold at college campuses across the country this morning.
Yeah, here's a live look at UCLA's campus right now where students, faculty, and community members have demanded that the school divest from its ties with Israel. Police conducted a pre-dawn raid on the pro-Palestinian encampment early this morning, barely 24 hours after counter-demonstrators attacked that same encampment.
They're calling this the, quote, Katrina of the mountains, the Category 3 hurricane that slammed into the coast of Louisiana back in August of 2005. We all remember that, leaving 80% of New Orleans underwater after those levees broke about 2 days after the storm passed. Millions were displaced, nearly 1,400 people killed across 5 states.
And now we're dealing with Hurricane Helene, the death toll climbing to nearly 200 people across 6 states. It is now the deadliest storm to hit the U.S. since Hurricane Katrina.
Now some other headlines we were watching this morning. Abortion, border security, and transgender rights dominating a fiery debate last night in Texas between Senator Ted Cruz and his Democratic opponent, Congressman Colin Allred. Cruz, a one-time Republican presidential candidate, is seeking a 3rd term in the Senate. Polls show his lead has narrowed in recent weeks, giving Democrats hope that they can retain control of the Senate. Dozens of Russian drones targeted Kyiv and other cities overnight in the largest attack on the Ukrainian capital in months. Ukrainian air defenses shot down some of the 136 drones used in the assault, and it was not immediately clear whether others hit their intended targets. No casualties have been reported. The North Carolina judge who presided over the trial of the man convicted of killing Michael Jordan's father now wants the man to be released from prison. Daniel Green was convicted of killing James Jordan nearly 30 years ago. Prosecutors say he fatally shot the NBA legend's dad in a robbery gone wrong. But now the judge is asking the state's parole board to let him out because some potentially key forensic evidence against Green was not disclosed at trial. Green maintains he helped dispose of Jordan's body but was not involved in the shooting. Energy prices are forecast to decline over the second half of the decade unless wars in the Middle East and Ukraine continue to escalate. The International Energy Agency says oil and natural gas supplies will increase over the next few years, bringing down prices for gas and home heating fuels. Prices soared in 2022 as Russia invaded Ukraine. That coincided with a rise in global demand following COVID-19 lockdowns.